that they don't support some type of open-ended commitment. So as we consider additional supplemental assistance here for Ukraine, we really expect and appreciate robust oversight of the funds. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Hagerty. Senator Booker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I just want to pause for a moment, if I can. You have a great ranking member who's just an extraordinary senator and a chairman who are pretty extraordinary. You got 3 senators here. 2 out of 3 ain't bad in terms of the quality. And it seems like this room has a smattering, if at all, of staff and senators. But you should think of that as no diminution of the gravity of this moment. This is not just a routine Senate hearing. This is an extraordinary part of our democracy, and the administration puts up incredible candidates, and the Senate has obligations defined by our Constitution to advise and consent and ultimately approve them. I'm just sitting here and getting more and more moved because I'm thinking about my mom and dad who met here and married here, and I was born in the city, the only one of the 100 senators born in Washington, D.C. And my mom is relentless. I'm going to get a chance to see her this week because she will always try to remind me so that I never lose the gravity of moments like this about what was going on around the time that I was born. A woman couldn't get credit. They had to get their husband to sign on with it. My parents, a black family, would tell me time and time again how many companies in Washington, D.C. wouldn't hire black people. And so from the time I was born, I'm now sitting here looking at a panel that just some 50 years ago, this country couldn't have imagined. That you'd have 2 women up for extraordinarily important positions to lead and represent our nation, and a black man who has had such a career of distinction. The 3 of you are different. You're just different. Not your race and gender, you're different because of the commitment of your lives. Sir, when you said you gave up a lucrative position in the private sector to stay in service, I got chills. What is on this panel right now is just an extraordinary American story. Story of who we are as a nation who's overcome so much to get to this point in American history. And it's extraordinary because the 3 of you have spent your entire careers as humble servants of this nation, not for the money, not for the attention and the fame that we get as senators, where our names are in the press all the time. Sometimes I wish not as much. So I just want to pause and just let you all know that I am grateful for you. You are a towering testimony to what makes this nation special. And while many of us Americans luxuriate in the blessings of liberty and this nation, there are people on the front lines doing the hard, important, unglamorous work of advancing the call and the cause of our country. And so for the families that are assembled here, this is not normal. This is not a routine thing in the United States Senate. This is a great American moment. And these are 3 great Americans. So I just say thank you. I have a lot of concern about the Sahel. I am anguished to see what's happening there now. I've had a chance to visit Burkina Faso and see the greatness of the people. The way you spoke of your testimony showed me that you respect these extraordinarily kind folks that right now are having this military junta and struggling at the same time with terrorism. But I'll never forget when our military, I was sitting in our embassy in Ouagadougou, and you had our military training these young Burkinabe men to protect and defend their own nation. And just to see the connection between our 2 countries who shared values, and even more so, they shared this aspiration that seemed to be fueled by American energy, that they could be a nation that was free and democratic and secure. And so we are going to deal with each other because I am the, by somebody's decision, I am the chairman of the Africa Subcommittee. And I just look forward to working with you and the administration, who I talk to quite often about these issues, to find a way to stop this growing insecurity in the Sahel specifically, that's creating so much political instability, such a rise in terrorism, so many political coups, all undergirded by painful levels of food insecurity and suffering when it comes to just basic humanitarian issues. So thank you. I plan on voting for you on the floor. I know there are some follow-up questions about the influence of Russia and China, frankly, if you can add into that. But I will leave this committee today a very inspired American. So thank you all for your service.
If there are no more questions for the witnesses, the record will remain open until the close of business tomorrow, Friday, November 17th, for questions for the record. I urge our nominees to try to complete those as rapidly as possible so that we can clear you for committee action and move you to the floor. Each of you